If you're pumping out 50 creatives a month and still wondering why your ROAS is underwater, this video you're watching now will save you thousands. I'm going to expose 6 myths that e-commerce brands are burning cash on right now and show you exactly what the data actually says. Let's get into it. I've audited countless brand accounts this year and I keep seeing the same patterns. Smart founders are making the same expensive mistakes because they're following outdated data and outdated advice from years ago. So today we're cutting through the noise, no fluff, just exactly what moves the needle. Myth number 1, more creatives mean better performance. This is the biggest lie in meta ads right now. Everyone's obsessed with volume, test 30 creatives this week, 40 creatives that week, launch 50 variants, more is more. Here's what actually happens. 80% of your ad spend consolidates to 1 or 2 winners, not 10, not 20, 1 or 2. So I pulled data from a brand that were doing around 6 figures a month. They were testing 40 creatives monthly. When we analyzed their spend distribution, the majority of budget was actually going to just 2 ad concepts. So the truth is, it's not about making more creatives. It's about identifying winners faster and getting them into circulation before your competitors copy them. So think about it like this. Would you rather test 50 mediocre concepts or find 2 winners in week 1 and scale them for 3 months? Here's what you need to do instead, right? Especially if your ad spend isn't that much. Test in smaller focused batches of 5 to 8 creatives. Give each creative 3 to 5 days and enough spend to prove itself. Kill losers fast, scale winners faster. Your goal isn't creative volume, it's winner velocity. So myth number 2, CBO versus ABO decides your efficiency. I see this debate all over LinkedIn. Should I use campaign budget optimization or ad set budget optimization? People are acting like this toggle is the make or break. People need to chill out. So the truth is your creative and audience signals make the decision, not the toggle itself. If your creative is strong and your pixel data is clean, CBO will distribute budget efficiently. If your creative is weak and your signals are muddy, ABO is not going to save you. I've seen terrible campaigns with CBO. I've seen terrible campaigns with ABO. The common thread, bad creative and poor signal quality. Here's the reality. CBO actually works when you have strong creative and clean conversion data. ABO gives you more control when you're testing cold audiences or new products. But neither matters if your hook doesn't stop the scroll. Stop obsessing over the toggle. Start obsessing over what feeds the algorithm. Myth number 3, broad targeting is too risky. Founders and agencies are too terrified of broad targeting. They want to narrow down to women that are 25 to 34, interested in wellness, yoga, and meditation, who visited my site in the last 14 days. I get it. It feels more safer. It feels like you have more control. But here's the truth again, right? Broad targeting is your baseline. If your creative isn't strong enough to convert broad, narrowing down isn't gonna save you. Think about what broad targeting actually does, right? It lets Meta's algorithm find your customers wherever they are. And Meta's algorithm has more data about buying behavior than you could ever manually target. So here's a test that you guys could actually try. So if you're running interest-based targeting, what you could do is move that into broad with the exact same creative and just have a look at your ROAS over the next week or 2. Because what you're doing there is you stop fighting the algorithm and you actually let the algorithm work. So the real issue is never broad versus narrow. The real issue is, does your creative communicate value to a cold audience in 3 seconds? If yes, broad will print. If no, narrow targeting is just a band-aid on a creative problem. Myth number 4, creative fatigue means I need a completely new concept. So your ad's been running for 3 weeks, CPMs are climbing, CTR is dropping, ROAS is falling off a cliff. Most people think this creative is dead. Time to start over with a totally new concept. The truth is, small shifts in hooks, CTS, or offers refresh fatigue way faster than starting from scratch. Your winning concept probably still works, but the problem is that your audience has seen the exact same opening line 47 times. You need to switch it up, right? Swap the hook, keep the body, and keep the CTA. So all your changes to the hook. Change the first 3 seconds, keep the message the same, but change the visual. Test a new offer or urgency angle on the same creative structure. You could remix the same script, create a different format. You can go from talking head to B-roll to text on screen. So I worked with a wellness brand and that had a winner that was starting to fatigue, but instead of scrapping the whole creative, all we literally did is change the opening hook. And guess what? start to perform again. Everything actually stayed the exact same. You don't always need a new concept, you need a refresh strategy. So how is it you are going to iterate on the winners you do have? Myth number 5, the algorithm just needs more budget to learn. Meta needs more data to optimize. You need to spend more for the algorithm to figure it out. I hear this constantly. And sure, the algorithm does learn, but throwing money at a broken campaign is not gonna fix none. This is actually what's happening. The algorithm needs better inputs, clean data, strong hooks, and quick iteration, not just more budget. If your pixel is firing correctly, your creative hooks in the first 3 seconds, and your landing page converts, Meta will optimize efficiently at almost any budget. But if your pixel tracking is broken, your creative is bland, and your landing page has a 1% conversion rate, a 10K day is not going to save you. So this is what the algorithm actually needs. Clean conversion events, a properly set up pixel, no tracking issues, strong creative that generates early engagement signals, fast iteration so it can test and learn quickly, consistent conversion data, don't keep changing your optimization event. More budget amplifies what's already working, it doesn't fix what's broken. Myth number 6, contrary to what our offer is, but media buyer is dead, it's all creative now. Although I'd love that to be the case, it's still not the case just yet. So yes, creative is king, 100%, trust me on that. Wouldn't be doing an ad creative agency if it wasn't. But if your ad doesn't stop the scroll, nothing else matters. But the idea that media buying is irrelevant, come on, like that's delusional. So like creative is king, but account structure, testing discipline, and reading signals still separate pros from amateurs. Anyone can make a viral ad, but not everyone can scale it profitably. What is media buying, right? Media buying is knowing when to kill a campaign versus when to let it stabilize, understanding how to structure the test so you get clean data, reading early signals like CTR, your click-through rate, thumb-stop ratio, 3-second views, knowing when to go horizontal, so basically attacking new audiences versus vertical, applying more budget. Creative gets you in the game, but media buying keeps you profitable at scale. The brands doing 7 and 8 figures profitably, trust me, they've dialed in both of these things. So let's recap the video. Number 1, stop chasing creative volume. Chase winner velocity. CBO versus ABO doesn't actually matter. Your creative and your signals do. So broad targeting is your baseline. Going narrow is not going to save about creative. Refresh fatigue with small tweaks. It's not always the case that you need to completely reconstruct the asset. The algorithm needs better inputs, not just more budget. And creative is king, but media buying is still the kingdom. So if you're making any of these mistakes, right, you're leaving money on the table. So make sure you do fix them. You will see it reflect in your ROAS and your results within weeks. So if you want me to break down more of actually what's happening in paid ads right now, drop a comment below. And if you found any of this helpful, make sure to share it with another brand owner in your network who needs to hear this. And make sure you click subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.